Today we're taking a look at these NFL matches, which are happening on Sunday, January 1st, 2023, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. Also, check out our perks and join the High Stakes membership. Joining the High Stakes membership is easy, is cheap, but it will help a lot in the growth process of this channel. Plus check out our Patreon in the link down below if you want access for our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Going back to our games for today, make sure to watch our videos till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions, and check out High Stakes DFS Strategy if you are into lineup picks, analysis, and advice for DFS. You will find links for both channels in the description and comments section below. New England Patriots vs Miami Dolphins. New England is 0-4 in its last 4 and 2-6 overall when receiving points this season. The weather forecast also calls for a likely chance of rain, which favors the Dolphins, who are 4-0 ATS in their last 4 meetings with the Patriots. New England's defense can stand up in the red zone against inferior competition, but doesn't play that well against good teams. They've been on the field too often. New England has lost the time of possession in each of its past 5 games and have not looked great in 4 of the past 5, giving up 33, 24, 30, and 22 points in those games. Furthermore, the Pats' offense is a wet blanket with poor offensive line and quarterback play. They're worst in the league at converting red zone opportunities into touchdowns and have failed to take advantage of the defense's contributions, 5 defensive touchdowns this season. Miami won't have to play too conservatively without Tua, especially against this New England pass defense. Bridgewater is a seasoned vet, 42-20 career ATS record with 2 alpha playmakers in Hill and Waddle, and the Patriots are 28th against the pass, 244.7 yards per contest. It's not going to look pretty at times, but as long as Miami can keep New England's pass rush at bay, 50 sacks, they'll control the time of possession and cover the spread. Our team pick is Miami plus 2.5 points. These two teams do not allow their opponents to score many points, and with this game late in the season with playoff implications, it will be a low-scoring affair. The Patriots' defense will be all over Bridgewater in the game. The under is 4-1 in the Dolphins' last 5 games following a straight-up loss. The under is 5-0 in the Patriots' last 5 games following a straight-up loss. Our total pick is under 41.5 points. Detroit Lions vs Chicago Bears. The Bears are destined for a high draft pick, but there were glimmers of hope this season. This was primarily due to the play of second-year starting QB Justin Fields, who has accumulated 3,178 total yards and 24 total touchdowns. Keeping the Ohio State product healthy and giving him more playmakers will be areas of emphasis this offseason. The Bears led Buffalo 10-6 at halftime last week, but couldn't hold off the Bills in the second half. Buffalo relied on its run game to outlast the Bears, as Devin Singletary and James Cook ran for long touchdowns. The Bills flipped the script, winning the second half 29-3 en route to victory. Fields passed for 119 yards and a TD, but was held to a season-low 11 rushing yards. The Lions missed an opportunity to improve their NFC wildcard odds last week against Carolina. Detroit had pulled within a half game of Washington for the final playoff spot, but couldn't keep its winning streak intact. According to 538, the Lions now have a 24% chance of making the playoffs and will likely need to win out against Chicago and Green Bay. The Lions are scoring 26.1 points and averaging 375.5 total yards per game, including 120.7 rushing yards and 254.9 passing yards. They're ranked 13th in third down conversion percentage, 41.7%, and 3rd in red zone touchdown scoring percentage, 68.4%. Detroit is tied for the fewest turnovers in the NFL this season, 15. The Lions are giving up 26.7 points and 409.9 total yards per game, the most in the league in both categories. Their opponents are averaging 145.9 rushing yards and 264.1 passing yards. Detroit is 31st in opponent third down conversion percentage, 47.4%, and 29th in opponent red zone touchdown conversion percentage, 64.8%. It's 19th in the NFL in takeaways, 17. Detroit is the better team with something to play for, plus it has an experienced QB who has much better home stats than he does on the road. The Lions are top 5 in points scored, total yards, and turnovers, along with a top 10 passing attack. They're also 5-0 ATS in their last 5 games, after accumulating less than 90 yards rushing in their previous game. The Bears have only covered 6 of their past 8. While these teams should be able to trade scores for most of the game, Chicago can't keep pace. Fields is already lacking playmakers and could be without wide receiver Chase Claypool, who is questionable. The Bears' defense is awful, surrendering the most points per game and the highest third down conversion percentage. I expect Detroit's offense to score over 28 points, pulling away from Chicago late in the third quarter. Our first pick is Lions -6 points. Take a look at the defensive stats for the Lions and the Bears, and chances are you will mutter under your breath, "Oh my, this game is going to go over." Both of these teams are not stellar in terms of rush defense, with Chicago ranked 27th and Detroit ranked 26th in the league. Chicago will control the pace on the ground, stacking up points with the Lions in pursuit from the air. In passing defense, Chicago is 15th in the league and Detroit is 2 slots from the last place, at 30th. The trends are all over for this game, as the total has gone over in 5 of Detroit's last 7 games and over in 8 of Chicago's last 9 games. Our total pick is to go over 52 points for the win. Atlanta Falcons vs Arizona Cardinals. After a strong season last year as the team continued its progression forward, this year has been nothing short of a disaster. A 4-11 record has them focused more on a top draft pick rather than a potential playoff spot. The Cardinals only have 2 wins in their last 10 games, and with 1 win in their last 8 games, there's little reason to think that a trip to the East Coast will provide a much different result. It helps that Arizona has actually been better away from home, 3-3 record, than at home, 1-7, but overcoming the injuries and lack of depth while being on the road might be too much to ask of this group. With the 49ers next week to close things out, there's a definite possibility that they could close out the season winless if they don't spring the upset in this one. As mentioned earlier, injuries have been a huge reason why Arizona has struggled so much this season. The most notable injuries are at quarterback, where not only Kyler Murray, knee, is out, but backup Colt McCoy, concussion, has been battling issues as well. As if that wasn't bad enough, James Conner, illness, is questionable, while Rondale Moore, groin, and Zach Ertz, knee, are both out. Without even considering the injuries that are also on the defensive side, the offense will struggle to move the ball at all in this one. Atlanta looked like they could benefit from a weak NFC South this season and sneak into the playoffs, but a cold streak to close out the season has them officially eliminated now. 4 losses in a row, with 3 of those coming on the road, have set the tone for this group to limp toward the finish line. Being back at home should help in this one, where they have a winning record this season, as opposed to their 1-7 road record. Of their last 6 losses, all but 1 have come by single digits, so if nothing else, this will be a close game when things are said and done. Some inexperience has certainly plagued them over the last few weeks, but against an Arizona team that also has quite a bit of youth out there, this could be a crucial game to try to close the season with some momentum. As mentioned earlier, injuries on the offensive side of the ball have continued to haunt this team. Marcus Mariota, knee, remains out, while the top offensive threat in Kyle Pitts, knee, will miss the rest of the season as well. The good news is that the defense hasn't been near as beaten up of late, and the hope is that the depth on that side of the ball can carry through. Desmond Ridder will get the start at quarterback, and with no touchdowns on the season, as well as no interceptions, the expectation is for the rookie to be let loose a little more in this one. Even with a slight change in his usage, Tyler Algier will get quite a bit of action in the ground game in this one. As one of the NFL's best backs over the last few weeks, Atlanta won't be shy to show off the league's 3rd-ranked rushing offense. By controlling this game on the ground, it should take some pressure of Ridder and open up the passing attack against a struggling Arizona defense. Atlanta has had their own struggles of late, but there's no doubt that they are primed to bounce back in this one. Each loss has been close, and with experience building, especially on the offensive side, a return home will see them come away with a win. The Cardinals are on their 2nd or 3rd string at nearly every position, and adding in travel across the country is only likely to hurt this team more than help them. They lack too many weapons to score and keep pace, while Atlanta's rushing offense will dictate this game, with their ability to grind out the clock and grind out drives, helping them towards a double-digit win. Additionally, according to Covers.com, the Cardinals are 2-7 ATS in their last 9 games in January, in addition to being 1-5 ATS in their last 6 trips to Atlanta. Our first pick is Falcons, -3.5. 2 replacement QBs is already a recipe for offensive struggles. That's evidenced by the fact that the total has gone under in 4 straight games for the Falcons, including both starts by Ridder. The Cardinals haven't scored 20-plus points in over 3 weeks, and it's been 4 weeks for Atlanta. Neither of these teams are battling for a spot in the playoffs, and I predict a tight and low-scoring affair in Georgia this Sunday. Our second pick is to slam the under 42 points.